school, I find if
You're
doing-
analyzing everyone else around you.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's submerging yourself in your, what your schooling, your new digs, and it's all perspective, man. Henry Street Tap Room, wonderful craft beer and whiskey joint, awesome food, gives me a little stage to perform on in my other life, be able to be the drug dealer, the successful drug dealer, because I'm really not much of a drinker. I'm definitely more of a pothead than a drinker. I would never be able to run a pop bar. I would smoke all my product. Liquor keeps me at bay because I just can't function drunk. Pop bar, I'd be in fucking trouble. Absolute trouble.
Don't come to Montreal.
I already left Colorado. I was
I was wondering, it's like, so I'm sure we're from Skinless, moved to Colorado.
Yeah.
Your old bassist Mike, the best man at your wedding, you were saying, he moved to Colorado.
We all moved there. Well,
You too.
we all moved. We were all roommates here in Saratoga. Sherwood, Mike, and myself. And Sherwood, was like, hey, thinking about moving to Colorado, and he moved out there. I think within 3 months, I went out to visit him, and we just went we're both big snowboarders. Snowboarding is fucking great. I came back and I was like, Mike, I think I'm moving out there, man. I'm like, you should go too. Like, come on, he was touring with he was Dillinger Escape Plan's sound man at the time, and I'm like, you can do. You're on a plane. You're in a bus. You're traveling most of the time anyway. So where does it matter where you live? So we all decided to just pick up and move to Denver, Colorado. Just one of those. We weren't married. None of us had kids. Like, let's do this before we can. So we just picked up. Moved in with all of us. Moved in with Steve from Cephalic. Fucking great dude. One of the best. And it was awesome out there. I mean, it's just a great scene. Music's amazing out there. There's always shows. And we got to play a lot. I mean, Sherwood, Mike, and I, we had our own little gig called the Violent Sequence. It was our little psychedelic rock band that we had going on. And, it was fun, but Sherwood was definitely hardcore pursuing a career in producing, getting into doing live. Mike soon thereafter started touring less with Dillinger, took some jobs doing sound also for some clubs, doing some production work. I just kind of felt myself, I was just becoming either a snowboard bum or just a bum. So I had a very important ailing family member, my grandmother. You were speaking of yours. Said passed away 5 years ago. My grandmother passed away 3 years ago. Came back. I lived with my grandmother on and off for about 5 years. She was great, amazing. So I came back to take care of her. Met my wife, had kids. That was the end of that story. I was never going back to Colorado again. Mm-hmm. At least not alive.
Right. Yeah. When I died, bury me in Colorado.
Yes. Spread my. I don't know. I think being buried is a fucking ridiculous. It's as ridiculous to me as religion. It's partly based off religions. Cremation. It's I just recently went through that process with somebody where it's fucking pretty expensive burning yourself after you're dead. if I ever had my own way of doing it, which they have body farms. I wouldn't necessarily want to be on a body farm, but I like the whole idea of just being like laid out, picked away, by random animals.
That's cool. Is that part of Whole Foods or Trader Joe's new business development strategy?
It's one of those new, that's healthy living, one of those new places out of Vermont. Very progressive.
Right.
Very progressive. You know exactly where your meat and your mushrooms are coming from.
Right. Yeah. Die in a controlled field.
I mean, how beautiful would that be to, perhaps if like somebody you've really cared about, maybe you shared experience with, you got to, maybe sprinkle a couple spores on their rotting carcass, and in the morning go out, pick some nice fungi off their chest, and be able to ingest and explore the people that you shared these moments with. I mean, that would be fucking beautiful. I'm sure it's been done.
I mean, it's like,
it seems like this is it seems like a rite of passage, at least in Saratoga, that like everybody here, and I'm so not going along with any crowd, nor was it for this reason, but it just seems like everybody here at some point has lived in Colorado. It's weird. It's become prevalent to me since I moved home, and I'm like, yeah, I live in Colorado. Me too. Well, why are you here? Well, I just came back. Everybody goes there, but everybody comes back. Fucking bizarre, man. Weird.
really fun.
Yeah, and I'm snowboarding at metal shows. I would run into people from Troy, from Saratoga, from Clifton Park. I was on a gondola, kind of bummed out that these two dudes jumped on with me because I want to smoke a bone. And, halfway up, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm going to smoke this. They're like, hey, cool, we'll pack a pipe. I'm like, oh, this is great. So we're all talking, like, yeah, so, it's always where you're from. It's nobody in Colorado's from Colorado. So where are you from? Oh, upstate New York. They're like, oh, we're from upstate New York. Oh, New York's a big place. Little town, race town. Like, shut up. From Saratoga? They're like, we went to Saratoga. We graduated from Saratoga. I'm like, well, I live in Saratoga, but I graduated from Shenandoah at Clifton Park. And they're like, do you know a guy named Joe Kinney? I'm like, yeah, one of my best friends growing up. He goes, oh my God, it's my fucking roommate. He lives in, just like the weird, you always meet people. It's a very small world, and it's very, I don't know if you've been out there, very, it's like a big city surrounded by nothing. I mean, when you include the Springs, Boulder, all the surrounding little hamlets, whatever you call them, of Colorado, you're surrounded by fucking nothing. And that gives it like this nice little cozy feel. I love Denver. I absolutely love it. I can get pot anywhere. You can get better, easier pot. My friends out there, I fucking love them to death. I went out to visit a few years ago. I'm like, so, the legalization has really progressed since I left. So, this must be awesome. Go to dispensaries. He goes, fuck those places. They're putting my dealers out of business. I always, considered music, free therapy. I was, everybody has, their things, some worse than others growing up. And, like many kids, especially where I grew up, it was, mid-90s. Maybe you should go talk to somebody. And, I think I flirted with that idea for about 50 seconds. I think I actually made it into an office, and I was like, all right, so my parents are paying you to listen to me fucking bitch and complain about them. And what the fuck is this for? It's just never really, still to this day, I don't understand therapy. I think people, it has to go beyond that. It has to be, something else they have to do productive-wise to release. And for me, like you, it was music. It's fucking, when Section 8 finished, Like, literally, I wasn't that same angry fucking person, and I was a fucking angry individual growing up. I was, and I'm still in that sense. I've held on to a lot of, that the cure that I felt, that nice, like, just don't give a fuck about it. That was like what I took out of it. Just don't care so fucking much, because life is too short. You get fucking upset. You zone in on things. You look for things that bother you. They're just gonna bother you more. But at the same time, this whole, getting back together and playing, I've talked extensively with Tim, our drummer, about, like, I have, for a long time, through relationships, whether they were dating or just like with friends, just never really got upset. In recent years, more or less, since I've been married, I feel that fucking anger welling up in me again. And I'm like, why now? Why with the person I've chose to spend, whatever time, the rest of my life, until one of us gets sick of each other and decides to, bury the other one in the fucking basement. Whatever happens, why now is this fucking serious anger welling inside of me? And, Tim and I have been like, our common answer is, we should get together and jam. We should play and get that, whatever's bothering us, off our chest. Because both of us, it was such a fucking beautiful stress reliever. It was an exercise. It was our therapy. And that's, for me, aside from just missing my brothers and playing with them, for me, as a personal little selfish act, that is why I want to do this.
Yeah.
I need the therapy.